Have you ever thought or asked why your voice feels so close to you? Why you don't talk about the voice, you talk about my voice, and when you say my voice, that you notice that there's a very, very intimate connection there, a very intimate feeling there that's involved. Well, let's take a look at that, why that is. So here we go. My experience is this. I've been giving true voice work for 30 years and helping people to go through this big first step of learning to open their voices. And when they open their voices, then often this amazing sound starts to come out. They open their voice here, they give it lots of energy from the body, and a sound pops out that they've never heard. And that's kind of amazing to them. They're often astonished by it. They've never heard it before. They had no idea it was even possible. Or it's a sound that touches them very, very deeply. They're suddenly very, very quiet. Very, very moved. And when that sound first comes out, that big, beautiful, wonderful, powerful sound, they often have to respond. And let me tell you what they usually say. Well, let me tell you what they don't say. How about that? The first thing they don't say is they don't say, well, but that's not my voice. They don't tell me that. And the other thing they don't tell me is, well, but that's not my sound. They don't say that either. What do they say? They say, but that's not me. It doesn't sync with their sense of self. And all of that sense of self-image and self-worth and that sense of me somehow does not correspond anymore. There's this tremendous disconnect. There's a huge discrepancy suddenly in the space where who they always felt that they were is one thing, but now that their voice is telling them there's something quite different. And for the moment, that's quite disconcerting. They don't know how to pull these two things together. And usually, the first step that they'll try to take is they'll try to take that sound and immediately reduce it back into that space of where the limitations that they keep themselves in all the time anyway. Because the sound is suddenly broken out of that cage that they live in. And so the first thing is to try to pull it back in. But of course, what is actually happening from my point of view, from my position, is that I want to encourage them to use the sound that they're hearing as a kind of a teacher, as a place now where instead of pulling the sound back to them, that they expand in their sense of self and their own sense of being and behavior and feeling world to be as open and as broad and wide as the sound itself. Be as powerful as that sound. But in that moment, it's very clear that we're being confronted with a sound that is no longer something that we don't have that sound. It's not a sound that we have. In that moment, it's very clear that sound is something that I am. It's not what I have, it's who I am. So that's why when we're talking about the voice and working with our own voice, we talk about singing. We're talking about something that is literally as big as you can be. And when we give it our chance, when we give our sound a chance to be that big, then it helps and encourages us to be that big, that free, that open as well.